just got to Ethical Psychics Live right at the end. I didn't realize she was just having a shorter live tonight. Hold on, I'm just sharing it out a couple places. Let's see here. Oops, take that one off of there. Sorry, hold on just a second. Okay. Hello. Hi, Janine. How are you? I'm trying not to do music because I'm sharing my lives now to my YouTube channel. Oh, you were there? Okay. Yeah, I got there right when she was, thank you for the heart me. Right when she was finishing up. Yeehaw. Thank you very much, Michelle. Right when she was finishing up the meditation. So I missed that. I do want to do a meditation. Lindsay, thank you. I'll probably do it this time towards the end. So we leave with the meditation. So if you want that, we can stick around. Let's see, it's 8:39. I'm going to be on until 10. Let's see, 8:30, 9:30, like 10:15. Around 10 or 10:15 Arizona time. So 9 or 9:15 California time is when I'll do a meditation. Okay. But I need to start going live on my YouTube channel too. This whole TikTok ban is like, it's like I'm starting to think, well, I've always thought obviously it was political, but I'm wondering if because it's definitely going to probably go dark. I mean, from what I've seen, but I think it's going to, I've never seen it going away completely. I still don't. And I think that it might go dark for 1 or 2 days, but I think it has to do with the election, to be honest with you. I feel like it's going to go away and then it's going to come back. Like maybe what's going on, Sunday and Monday is so intense that they kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, tappings for the cool kids, you guys. Lindsay got us really high up last night. Noah, hi Noah. Good to see you. Thank you for the rose. I'm using my wobbly table today. See how it moves around? But it's lower and it's, hi Jamila, good to see you. It's not as high up. The other one's like really high and I feel like my head is like down here. It'll be harder for me to do a meditation. I guess I'll have to just be like, yeah. How are you guys though? Trying to grab something. How's my energy? My energy is great. My energy is great. Wonderful. Thank you guys for liking and tapping. Tapping is caring. Hi, Suzanne. So someone sent me a message after last night's meditation. It's been so long since I've done my meditations on my lives, but pretty much ever since the election, right? Hi, Miria. Hello. How are you? And so they were saying that this, my amethyst was a really pulling, energy from them. So definitely stick around to the end of the live and we'll do a little, I don't want to add any music though, because thank you, Suzanne, because then I can't really post it on YouTube. We spoke about orange on Ethical Psychic, thoughts about orange being alive. Oh, okay. What did she say? What do you guys think? Yeah, some people in last night's live thought that orange was not alive. So I'm wondering, and I've kind of been meditating on it since because I got this feeling of like, I don't know. Oh, wait, do not do rods because I'm drinking beer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't do that because that's not a good mix. So I don't know. I mean, I've gotten the feeling from just looking at, sometimes when I see pictures of Trump or even videos. I shouldn't say his name. Why did I just say his name? See, I get weak. Hi, Jeepman. Lots think he's gone or strikes. Strikes? What strikes? I think of doubles, you guys. His energy pushing Daisy. Oh, interesting. Hannah. I feel like they've had at least one double. Oh my gosh, I feel bad. I love this guy, but I can't. I wish you could do a message. I just can't. I don't want to do any gaming right now or whatever you call it. What is it? Battling. Dumpty pants. Tangerine. There's definitely like doubles, you know what I mean? And I'm wondering, are they going to just have the double be on camera? I don't know. it's really hard to get a read on this whole thing, you know? All I can tell you is what I do know in myself to be true. But believe me, all the changing of inner energies every day, it's like every day I have to check in and be like, do, you know, it's crazy. Where are you going to live? Oh, I'm going to try to go live on my YouTube channel, and you guys can get to my YouTube channel. Thank you, Jamila. Thank you, Ange. Hi. You can get to my YouTube channel in my bio, but I'm still going to be here as soon as this comes back. I'm coming back on here. I think it's only going to go dark for like 1 or 2 days. I just hope they keep our accounts as they are, you know, like all my saved videos, like other people's videos, not my own videos, but other people's videos, things like that. So I don't know. So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'll go live on there. I mean, you guys, it'll be like the most important days. Of course we have to go live, you know. It's the collective anxiety. I'm calm as hell, but feeling the energy. Yes. Yes, Jody. Totally. I mean, I'm aware of how crazy this is. You know, it's like knowing something's going to go down, and it's like, what happens if a double? Wait, what were we going to ask, Rosemart? I just think, like, I remember one time I saw one of the Tangerine public appearances, and I thought, that doesn't look like him. Because the last time I saw him, he looked more run down. His face was more like hanging down, kind of like, and his nose like had, it just looked more porous, and just his skin tone and stuff didn't look good. You know what I'm talking about? And hi, Trek. And then he, like, I don't know, he just didn't look good. And the next time I saw him, which is what I was talking about, he looked fuller faced. It wasn't as gaunt looking, you know? It was kind of interesting. I don't think that, you know, this is going away, but I do think maybe there's a possibility that it'll go dark for a minute, but it's going to come back. No, I didn't predict that. The way that I feel it is, it's like I lock onto something and I think about it, and I try to connect with my intuition and my feeling about it. And I just try to think, do I sense that this is going to go away? No. Like, I sense TikTok existing beyond this. So if it goes dark, it'll be for a couple days, and that's it. That's what I feel. I'm also just a person, you know, nobody's 100%, but for myself, I'm pretty sure about it. It's different when you like tell other people. But, you know, and I also don't, you know, feel like he's going to be our, you know, the guy in the white kitchen. Day of Reckoning is coming up soon in theaters near you. Alfuni, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Kelly. Yes, that's what I was talking about. It was the SpaceX launch. He looked weird, right? He didn't look like himself. He looked different. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like looking at the video over and over again, and I kept zooming in. And I was just like, what's different? Something's different about him. Do you guys know what we're talking about? Masara, could down ballot races see a change in their contest grades? What do you mean by that? Yeah, so we were talking about a double. That's what I was just saying. I think it was a double. Thank you for the heart me, mama. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the... Hi, Gwen. Thank you, Mama. I can only do half because I have to hold my tripod because it's wobbly table. Thank you. Rachel. I had to see who did that. So, yeah, I was thinking the one with the SpaceX launch was a double. You know, we sound so cray-cray, but, you know, Balulu or what do they call us? Blue Anon? Yeah, it's pretty bad, but, you know... Yeah, I mean, I do think that I saw, where did I see it? Someone tagged me in it and I reposted it, that something about another country has asked about, I'm kind of talking about everything. I'm talking about in code, Blue Lulu. That's what it is. Thank you, Levi. Yeah, we're the bright side of the coin. Exactly. We have proof. There's a difference. Whatever. Someone has requested X's algorithm because it's going to be part of showing what they did as part of the misinformation campaign. Did you see Project Liberty wants to purchase TikTok? No, I didn't see that, Trek. I didn't see that. I feel like I don't believe any of those. I don't want anyone to purchase it anyways, because I think it's giving into this bullshit and it's all a lie. It's like a lie. Who said it? Someone broke it down and I was like so grateful. Oh, Under the Desk News. Do you know that girl? Am I saying it right? Under the Desk. She broke it down, you guys. I reposted it. So check my page, go to my repost. It's like 2 or 3 ago. It's bullshit, you guys. They never talked about the TikTok ban on that Senate or Congress floor or whatever. They never debated it because it was stuck into another bill about something about, I think, immigration, right? So watch her video because she's so much more knowledgeable and she breaks it down. But the way she broke it down was finally so clear to me of what's going on. It's always been in America. TikTok America has been in America. All of the data, all of the everything. And if they sell to another company, they have to scrap all of their algorithm stuff. They have to scrap everything and rebuild it from the ground up. And they said it'll take 3 years. Why would they have to do all that? That's ridiculous. It's just bullshit. All of it is just bullshit. It's complete idiotness. And I'm glad that they're standing their ground. And I hope that they don't sell it. I think it'd be stupid. And I think he knows that. Hi, Travis. Yeah, once I heard that, I was like, that's ridiculous. They don't even know what's going on. And she was saying, post about this everywhere. But she was like, post about it on X. Because that's where most of the senators and all those people are, which is irritating. And Facebook and... I know most of us just got rid of all that. So we're like, where? I can have my mom post about it, I just don't want anyone to buy it. I want them because they are already run by an American company. I think it's ridiculous. I don't understand. Watch that video. Do me a favor. If you really care about the TikTok ban before it goes away for a couple days, look at my repost or just go to the Under the Desk News page and watch her video about it. She breaks it all the way down, and it's really, really, really good. It's amazing. Thank you, Black. Thank you. Phil. Hi, Phil. Let's see. I will ask again. If they prove contest fraud, will lower level races change? No, I don't think so. No. Are you like some of the other psychic? No, I don't. Kenolani polls. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly. I don't really get that. I don't get that. Someone said that. It's not that I think he's full of life and alive. I just don't get that. Maybe my energy is going somewhere else. I also feel like he's going to disappear. I feel like she breaks down the TikTok ban and why it's bullshit what they're doing because, their fears of it being, information. I mean, what information are they going to get from us? I mean, really, all that kind of, you'll see, just go see it, you guys. I can't remember to send it to anybody. So you guys are just going to have to check, go to my page. And then on my page, you have like the thing on top of the actual videos. On the left, it's like all my videos. And on the right, it's like a thing. Thanks, Eddie. I don't know what it looks like. A swirl around thing. Those are the things you repost. Go there. Tap on that and you'll see it. And watch that video. And then come back. Yes. Thank you, Kristen. Go check it out. Eddie, thank you. Thank you so much. I have a wobbly table. There you go. Thank you. Wow. Chili peppers. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of everything. It's like the buffet. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much. TGIF, ice cream. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. What's that one? Oh, Paddington. Paddington. Oh, I like it. I like it. Thank you. God, what are you like? You're like going all through the menu. Like bing, 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 bing. Thank you very much. Okay. Ethical Psychic, how are you? How are you? Are you in the mood to come up here? Do you want to come up? I know you just got off your live. So I'm just going to see. You don't have to accept if you're tired, but I sent you an invite. So you're kind of like the only person I would bring up, honestly, just because I want to keep energy. Hi. Oh, I think I have to turn the camera. Why does it make me do that? Hi.
Hey,
How are
I ended my
you?
live a little early, so I still have a little energy left.
Good. Good. Yeah, I got there right when you were at the end of your meditation. I was like, ah. So I wasn't prepared for it to be so fast. I was like, darn it. So we were just
Yeah,
talking about the TikTok ban and how, the under the desk news, that girl.
yeah.
So she broke it down about why this is ridiculous and like she wants everyone to put messages out like on, all the places we just deleted, probably X, Reels, I mean TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. But when the way she described it made so much sense to me that what so I do think it's probably going to go dark for a couple days. But don't you think that's related to the ceremony?
Probably. I didn't actually tune in today and get any new information today. I just kept getting for the longest that there wasn't going to be a ban, and then I just noticed today that the CEO came on and said, "Oh, we're going to shut it off on was it Sunday?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm very confused. Um, yeah. Also, he seemed to be kowtowing to the Naked Emperor
Yeah.
in
Like
that
thanking
video,
Trump. Oh, I just
and
said his name.
that's not going to go well because that's not going to be who's in charge. So
Yeah. Wrong person. Cass said, did y'all see they're moving the ceremony inside because it's cold? I did see that.
old.
Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
I don't think that's the reason, but
Yeah. I saw some of his fans going like, oh, I came all the way from wherever, whatever. And I was hoping, and it's like, too bad.
someone said cancel the parade. Do they mean the 19th event was canceled or
Oh, they
something else?
did, Kelly, and canceled the parade.
I'm not sure if parade refers to the 20th or the 19th.
Right. Let me see. Inauguration. I didn't know there was an inauguration parade.
Oh, okay. So they canceled that too. Yeah, that whole thing's going to be canceled.
So, what are we getting on the tangerine unalivement?
So I was talking about that in my live. I was like, let's talk about this rumor on the TikTok streets. I reached out to, I think, you and a bunch of other people earlier today. Did I reach out to you
Yes, you did.
about this rumor that he's no
Yeah.
longer with us? And I felt like everyone kind of said something along the lines of yes or possibly or probably. I did not tune in today specifically because I was really busy today with stuff. But I just was sharing with people what I'd gotten in the past chapters of my story. I was shown him in a hospital with a lot of doctors and some last minute urgent procedures being done. This was like a week ago. And I was also shown when I asked about whether he would get any metal bracelets, I was told no, he was going to be in more like a hospital, a secure hospital underground, kind of where they keep people who are being detained but who are not well. So those are two things I've gotten in the past few weeks. And so those two things combined make me think it's not, I wouldn't be surprised um, if he's no longer with us, but I can't confirm. I don't have my guides haven't confirmed that.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting that so many people picked that up. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that you didn't think so. I did just hear that spirituality with Sam posted something about maybe it was energetic, not physical.
Yeah. Yeah, because when someone said it in my live, I had this feeling kind of shoot through my body when I read it, and I was like, but I kept checking all day, and I didn't get any definitive thing either way. I didn't get, but I feel like they've been using like at least one double. I hear how crazy this sounds, But so energetically, we've been picking up on weird, different things, anyways. If we're looking at him, we're looking at a double sometimes. So I already maybe for
Yeah.
me, I'm not sure what I'm picking up on right now.
Right.
And I also saw Mar-a-Lago as very dark, like almost like an abandoned amusement park or something. You know, when you're driving up the long driveway, normally all the plants and trees would be lit up and there'd be lights and stuff. All that was dark. And then I saw this big, huge chain and lock on the gate, and it felt kind of scary and dark. So that I did pick up on that. But you know,
Mm,
that's my stuff's usually metaphorical. You know, whatever I pick up
okay.
on.
Yeah.
I didn't see your comment,
Yeah.
Sarah. Sorry, go ahead. What will happen if MAGA if he doesn't get in?
They'll lose their minds. I
Yeah.
have been seeing protests, a lot of protests um, coming up soon this weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be happy.
I think we're going to have protests on both sides. Oh, someone sent me a video. All right, let me look. Where'd my glasses go?
James, so James, you think he's like no more? Chaotic roses, they don't have any more minds left to lose.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
Oh my goodness.
security.
Who sent me a video? Now I forget the name. I have too
Yeah.
many messages.
Yeah.
Uh,
I I'm really happy that I have so many messages on the videos on YouTube and here, but I like to comment on every comment. I like to reply. I spent hours today doing that. It takes I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
I used to do that. I can't anymore, but what I do now is I try to like every comment, which also takes hours, but it doesn't take as long as it took to put comments.
Mary Pat Van Eaton said, "My pendulum told me that." I missed the first part of what you said. The dark driveway fits what you've been hearing. Interesting. There was supposed to be a gala tonight, but I can't find anything about it, Aaron says.
They're taking down the bleachers, someone said. See, that's a trip. That's a trip.
So wait, where are they going to be then? You know what I mean? Like
I saw something that they're in some kind of rotunda or something. And then
inside?
none of the former leaders are going. Have you seen that too?
Oh, really? Like the ex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the ex-prezes, none of them are going. They're all like, yeah, we're gonna sit this one out. I mean, is it
Right.
even gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? No, I don't think so. I mean, I need to tune in again and get specifics because I haven't specifically gotten that date. I've gotten just the general sense again and again and again that he is not going to be the one sitting in that seat, and that she will be. That's what I've gotten. I haven't gotten anything about that particular day, but I did get that tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is supposed to be a really big day in terms of the star beings.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. Can
Yeah.
I, did I do the camera right, Mimi?
Yeah.
Okay. Because why do I have to always do the camera thing separately? I don't understand that.
Yeah, we can't see you.
Oh, yeah, I didn't turn it on.
Okay.
I'm in my kitchen. I'm making cupcakes. I also bake vegan desserts. So,
That sounds good.
yeah.
So do you think he's maybe, the tangerine is,
All I will say is that my guides have told me what is going to happen, and they asked me not to say anything until it does happen. But I don't think any of you are wrong, if that helps.
well, I don't feel anything, so I don't, I get, I don't, I don't know.
Well, yeah, like it's definitely the fact that they're taking down everything on the mall for the inauguration. It's being moved indoors. Those that want to actually watch, would be going to the Capital One Arena. One of my followers, who probably actually follows you all too, but she sent me information that because she had picked up her inauguration tickets, and she had requested them before the election thinking Kamala would win. And so she actually got them today and got an email about it stating that like the majority of the tickets are just going to be commemorative, and that it's going to be indoors and a very, very small event. And like reading that, it was just very indicative of a lot of the things that all of us have been saying and what the visions that we have, or the, clear cognizant messages that we get, or, with checking with the pendulum or tarot cards, like it all really aligns to what we've been saying. And, yeah, it's really quite interesting to see it all unfold because, and one of the things too that I realized when Jimmy Carter passed on was that when Jimmy Carter lost his presidency, it ushered in an age of greed and wealth, redistribution of wealth to the wealthy, right? We saw the greatest wealth assets taken from the middle class and taken, that's when we ended up with billionaires, right? And so the fact that Jimmy passed on, it's like a bookend to that era, with the ending with Trump being the bookend to Reagan, and it's done, and we're seeing that happen, and I think it's really, really interesting to watch it all unfold. We've all been having these psychic visions for months now, and to watch it all culminate is really, really quite interesting, really powerful that, we were able to be the ones to carry that message throughout this dark days,
Yeah. Gail Overcash said, do you know that the invitations to the inauguration don't have any names on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It just mentions that it's the inauguration for president or something like that. And it just says that they're mainly commemorative. The majority are just commemorative.
And Lindsay Lou said, from a marketing perspective, small crowd size would force a change of locale for optics.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think like the media wants people to think, but that's not really what the situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would have still had a large crowd size anyways. In the last time an inauguration had to be indoors because of unseasonably cold weather was Reagan's second term. And that goes back to my point about the bookends. Yeah.
Whoops. I guess I understand why people are worried about it, but I guess I know what I feel so strongly when people say, well, if something happens to him, then couch potato and everybody else goes in. When I say I don't picture him in, I mean I don't picture any, like the whole entire ship of shit.
Ship of fools.
It's gone. Like it doesn't get in at all.
Fools
well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think people forget that in order for a president to officially be president, they have to be inaugurated, which means if the president is not inaugurated, then the vice president isn't inaugurated either. Thus, the vice president cannot be sworn in as president if the president is not inaugurated. That's
and it's also one ticket. It's like we don't vote for the VP. We don't, we vote for the P, and then the VP comes along with it and everybody else.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Chris Teen makes a good point, but with Reagan, it was below zero. This isn't even going to be that cold, which, it's probably not even as cold as when Biden was sworn in 4 years ago with Bernie's cute little adorable mittens, right?
Oh yeah. His little mittens.
Like it's going to be cold, but like, I mean, you could, put some tents up and put some heaters up. I've been to bars that are warm around the patio in the winter. Come on now. I mean, really, like,
Yeah.
like, listen, this
Also, did
weekend
you see the post that he supposedly wrote? Clearly, he didn't write
he
it.
didn't write it. He
No.
didn't write it. No.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we see? I feel like maybe that's why they want it to all be separate. So when I feel like it might even all start to happen maybe on Monday, I guess. I mean, don't you think maybe?
I think this is going to start Sunday. And that meeting that they have scheduled at midnight on the 20th,
Yeah.
this Senate Intelligence Committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like some things are going to be happening.
That's why I think it'll be like from midnight until when most of the people wake up. That's when a lot of this stuff's going to happen. Because I feel like if it happens on Sunday, there's too many people out and about. Like, where is that rally being held? Does anybody know?
the the indoor one, or
The Sunday rally?
Sunday
The
one,
victory
somewhere in
victory
DC.
rally.
Victory rally.
Yeah, somewhere in DC.
Because I feel like they're not going to want, that's a problem. They want those people heading home if they can. Some of them don't have inauguration tickets, so maybe they'll be like, bye.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also they're corralling them into places that have metal detectors. And that's the same thing with on Monday. The people that will be present for a quote unquote inauguration will be inside a facility that they had to go through with metal detectors.
Meeting changed to 4:45 p.m. on the 20th. The midnight one, Daisy? I don't like that. Capital One
the thing
Arena
is
for
it was
the
never
victory.
actually marked on the calendar anyways. It was just a post, and then when you click on it to go look at the calendar, it's actually not there.
The victory rally is happening at the Capital One Arena.
Okay.
Well, I was told that there's going to be a big, like, uncloaking of major vehicles tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. And this is consistent with an earlier chapter in my book, in my story, where I was told that there was going to be a really big event that happened before the resolution of the joust. So that would qualify.
Yeah, my original card pull on the 19th, after it was announced that they were going to have a victory rally, was very indicative that like something big was going to happen that day, and that it would ultimately result in like it would be that day that resulted him not being inaugurated on the 20th. Like it will be finished on that day at that event.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom anything. Like,
So Sandy says, do you think the GOP chose midnight to inaugurate him early? The time for the inauguration is actually set. It's always on the 20th, and it's always at the same time, 12 p.m. So it would not be. They would have to pass legislation in order to actually move it. I'm pretty sure, because it's set at the same time on the same day every 4 years.
I did see all the New York City police there. That's
Yeah.
why would they have New York police there?
Well, if you looked at the they're like basically, I can't think of the correct term, but they're like paddy wagons.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they are. Like they're gonna need vans like that for people. Yeah.
Weird to just get ahead of it like that. And they're like, we just need paddy wagons. Okay. Lots of them.
Yeah, like it's highly unusual for them to even be there in DC ahead of a inauguration. I've seen people ask about that, who ask people that live in DC that have lived in DC a long time, like, have they ever seen anything like this? And they're like, yeah, no, this is highly unusual. This is not normal.
I think that I saw some comments in the feed that I think that there's a lot of things that are happening that look like everything is normal, but that's because that's part of this whole thing. You have to act like everything's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok, we're all talking like this, but as soon as you get off TikTok, there's a whole nother world going on where people are just acting like this is a normal Monday coming up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Facebook, like people think like nobody's coming to save us, and
Yeah.
like it's all doom and gloom. And it's like, we signed a treaty with NATO related to what happened in November. So actually, it would be a violation of those accords for them to not come and save us. And the fact that they released the Jack Smith report means that there's global consensus about what has happened, which means that NATO definitely is coming to our rescue.
Yeah.
Because there has to be global consensus in order for NATO to actually like step in.
I always thought from the very beginning it wasn't going to come from the blueberries. It was going to come from NATO.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. But it
Because
has
it can't
to.
be us against them. It has to
Correct.
be
Yep.
like this
Yeah,
is
I
a
was
global
told it had to
problem.
be a neutral third party.
Yep. Absolutely. In order for it to really sink in, for MAGA to realize that like that it's the truth. And I think they've been trickling that out with the media, where they've talked about France and Canada and Romania and whatever else country it was, Germany, right? Like they've been trickling this out, so like it's at least in like the subconscious of MAGA's mind when the news breaks, and hopefully most of them have epiphanies and revelations about what has really been going on, and they're woken up out of the stupor that they've been in.
Well,
And
another
that's
part
what
of
I
the
see.
stupor has been starting to idealize Russia, like starting to
Yeah.
think that that's such a great, that's not so bad after all, you guys. And like, so it's almost like we're trying to tell you guys these things, these bad things that they did, and so they're going to be like, who cares? They're our friends, like, and it's like, but at least you try with some of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's been all part of the whole. I never got that we'd be without power or internet or whatever, but I mean, other people, I'm not an all seeing person, but I'm just saying for myself, I never got a feeling about like electricity being out and stuff like that.
Yeah, ethical psychic, didn't you see something about water or electricity or something, internet?
Yeah, but what I saw was that there was going to potentially be some disruptions, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see that. My guides didn't say specifically whether it would be electrical or internet or what
Yeah.
communication, but that some possibility of those. And I was telling people to just get your supplies the way you would get supplies for any natural emergency like
Yeah.
earthquake, hurricane. Get your water, your candles, your canned food,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, that there's going to be possibly some kind of interruption.
Yeah. And I know Dana from the Somatic Money, she had the same vision. And then when I read her text post about it, I checked with my Grammy. And my Grammy said that like those things are possibilities, but they are things that can be prevented. But just in case they can't be thwarted ahead of time, it would be best to, stock up. So like when I went to the store yesterday, I got jugs of water. I also got like a variety of different cranberry juices. Since if you're not able to drink enough water all the time, cranberry juice helps keep that whole area healthy.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good
Panic is women,
idea.
we know that.
right.
Yeah, I need to go get some cranberry juice. I wanted to say something more about that. Because I'm at this point now where it's been like 9 weeks, right, that we've been getting information from our guides, posting, and it's a lot. And so the story I've been telling is like I've been trying to remember, all the chapters and bring them all together. And so I do recall that earlier in the story there was some information about the character Starboy and how part of his plan B, if plan A is the finagling of the joust and the installation of the naked emperor, and if that was at risk, or if there's any chance it wasn't going to be successful, there were these plan Bs in place, right, which have to do with possible interruptions. But then I was
Hmm.
remembering that prior to that chapter, there was a chapter where I was told that the reason it was taking so long for the revelation to happen is because the It's really loud. The reason why it's taking so long is because they were worried about Starboy's Sky Eyes being weaponized to target either our grid or our Wi-Fi or something like that. And so I think that's when you say, yeah, it could be prevented. I agree, but I think it's a possibility.
Yes.
That they've been grappling with for weeks, trying to make sure it doesn't happen, because when that does happen, it has the potential to create chaos or to cause people to become very fearful and to start acting erratically. And that's what we don't want.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I actually got early on from the TikTok shop, you know, that hand crank radio that like is good for like a power outage or something like that. And being where I live in Michigan, it's very plausible that a natural disaster could cause something like that. So I was like, I should get that in case this happens. And I'm really glad I did, because it might just come in handy in the next few days. And it charges the phones and everything. And it's just a hand crank thing. So,
Yeah, and I think that in general it's just good for everybody to be thinking like this, just to be self-sufficient. Don't and I think this all the time. Don't be like lazy about your own survival. And I'm not talking like food free, or I'm not one like a prepper. I'm not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not in that vibration. But like literally have water, kind of be thinking like that. Not everybody has the funds to be able to do a lot of backup stuff. Just to be honest, a lot of people just don't have, they can't do a lot of
yeah.
that. But if you can, like for instance, those big 5 gallon water things that you can refill at the grocery store or whatever. So I had like 4 of those, I think, when I lived out at the winery in Northern California. And when we went out there the day after the fire, the morning after the fire, when I went past the barricades to save the animals, I went into my place. It's like a guest house on the property. And because the well was on the electricity, but they had turned off the electricity. So there was no water. And then he didn't have what are those things called? I just forgot. The generator, sorry.
Transformer? Yeah.
He didn't have a generator, so we couldn't get water. But I had those 5 gallon water things, and I was able to put out a couple fires like around the chicken coop and around the guest house. And so, I mean, just be thinking, not like that particular thing, but just be thinking all the time, regardless. What are little things you can do? Like make sure you have matches, make sure you have water,
Yeah. Anything you would prep for in case of a natural disaster. And, we don't have to go overboard. Even when I asked my guides, like, in the potentiality that this does happen, how long could it happen? It's not that long.
Right. It's not that long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want everyone in the chat, don't be afraid. We're just talking about general stuff. I don't sense there's anything to be afraid of at all. I mean, I really don't. We're just talking about in general.
It's really important that people not be afraid. So the reason I brought it up in my lives is because I want people to not be afraid. And see, if you're prepared for a natural disaster or like some kind of interruption, if you're prepared for it, then you're going to be much more less likely to kind of freak out when it happens.
Yeah.
And Mimi, is that you? Can you mute? Thanks. I can't hear all that noise.
Oh, like the background?
Yeah, there's like a lot of background noise. I have a hearing issue. The thing is, I always tell this story. I was in a hurricane once where we had nothing for a week. We didn't have power. We didn't have ATMs. We didn't have transportation. We didn't have news. We didn't have anything. And in a situation like that, people can kind of get really scared and freak out. But if you have things, if you have your water and you've got your little stash of food and your matches, then you're going to feel a lot calmer. Yeah. And you got your little crank radio or whatever, or you at least know your neighbors. Like I've been telling people, get in community because you don't have to have everything, but you just have to know 1 or 2 people, and then you pool your resources. It just allows you to stay calm during that interruption in your life. And that's key, is staying out of fear is really important. Staying calm. I talked about in my other live about having a hurricane party, like having just a different perspective on, oh, we don't have power. We're going to dance in the dark and eat snacks, like we're going to just have a good time with what we have to deal with right now. And and that's just a different way of approaching it. And so just sometimes if we know ahead of time, oh, I might lose my internet for a week, or I might lose my power for a week, it can be not such a big deal when you know it's going to happen. And so maybe it could happen. And so just be ready and be calm.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I think it can't be said enough too, just because some people, that I feel like everybody serves a purpose, and some people's energy is to wake people up to that and talk like that. But that's not my natural thing. I feel like more like I'm on the other end of the spectrum, that I want to keep people calm and, just think of little ways you can do things to be prepared and
Yeah.
I did want to talk about that fire in Moss Landing. Did you get anything about that? You know about that?
Well, in Los Angeles, we have this app that we look at multiple times a day that tells us the status of the fires. And so I've been aware of the Moss Landing fire since it appeared on my app, which was I think yesterday. And I haven't looked at it recently to see how big it is, but let me go look at it.
Okay.
On the map, on the app, it calls it a power plant fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then isn't it Tesla batteries or something?
We have this app called Watch Duty, and this is what we refer to all the time to see what's
Yeah,
the
the
evacuation
facility the facility houses is a battery storage facility, and the batteries come from Tesla. It's not technically a Tesla facility, but the batteries did come from Tesla. They are Tesla's assets. Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize I kind of got involved in this in Northern California up by the winery, and when I got involved with farmers, and then that's how I started my film festival. Everything kind of came from that. But one of the things out there in the rural area, and I had never thought about this coming from suburbs or cities, like I just don't think about this. This is another issue that's coming up, is where do you store all the batteries, these big batteries, because they were wanting to do it in these fields right by people's houses, like just a couple people lived out there, or farmland. And they're like, what? It's just open space, but then it brings a lot with it. And so I don't know if you live in a rural area, but this is something that is an issue. So when I saw that it was a fire and it was batteries, lithium batteries, I thought that's like a whole thing that people are like worried about. But then we all want solar, but then once you capture that energy, where do you store it? In a battery. So there's like things to think about.
Yeah, but so my background is automotive quality engineer, and when I worked for GM, I worked in our electric propulsion unit, and then I also worked in software and services, and I worked with people that program the modules for our batteries. And part of the creating the code for those batteries, if something was wrong with that code, it could cause the chemicals to heat up and cause a fire. So it is entirely plausible for somebody who considers themselves to be a dark hat hacker to do something nefarious like that, to remotely cause an explosion. It is entirely possible.
All right. Well, reporting on Watch Duty. So for most fires, what they tell us is how big it is and what level of containment it is, and if there's any evacuation orders. And for this one, there's no acreage, there's no data for containment. It looks pretty small, and it says the evacuations orders have all been lifted.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I know that the facility was really close to that wetland area that comes in off of the Monterey Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps the wetland was just wet enough to prevent a massive spread, because it is hard to contain a lithium ion fire. It takes
so the way
special foam to put it out.
I'm looking at the map, and it's actually not near any nature or near any residential areas. It's like it's a just like a I guess the power plant or whatever is really isolated.
That's good.
And there is water on three sides of it. So I think it's right near the ocean. So I think it's looking like it's not an issue, and not compared to our other fires.
Yeah.
Good night, Rosemart. Yeah, I was concerned about it because I guess putting out a lithium fire isn't the same as like just putting out a fire. Like
Correct.
it's a little bit more involved. So a couple people want us to talk about the star beings. So why don't we shift over to that and talk a little bit about that? I get no feeling about that at all. Maybe I am an alien and my people have wiped my memory and they're like, you better not say anything about when we come see you. And I'm like, all right. Because I don't get any, I'm like literally nothing. I'm down for it. I'm like, bring it. I want to meet Ikbar or whatever. I'm fine.
Well, you do call yourself Sky Girl, so it totally makes sense.
I know. I am Sky. I don't even, I'm probably like, I even speak other like alien languages and I have no idea. As soon as they come, you guys are going to be like, wait, what is she doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, at least you can translate for us.
Yeah, exactly. It'll all come back to me when I see my people. But for now, I don't know. I know. I'm excited, Maggie. I'm excited for the aliens, star people.
I am too.
I am too.
Because they've been here. You know, they first came to me. Well, they first came to me when I was a baby, but they first came to me after the joust, shortly after the joust, and said, "We're here. We're surrounded the planet. They've come from all over, and they're here because of the joust because they want to make sure that this doesn't happen." And then slowly, right, we started seeing all the O bags and the D bags, and I just was feeling impatient, like, okay, people, when are you going to land? And then about a week ago, they showed me that they had several large craft that had landed in remote areas, and they also showed me, oh, I left the water on. What? And they all, just a minute.
Black, I was just reading your comment. You had one that came to me when I was going through something and it was like a mind reader. Tell me more, Black. I want to know what do you mean by that? I mean, it's sounding like there's going to be contact made tomorrow or Sunday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow what I got was that they're going to make themselves visible in a really big way.
Oh my God. That is like finally something very exciting.
It is really exciting.
The ones that I saw that already landed, someone just said, I thought they landed. The ones that I saw that already landed are hidden from human view. But they were saying that tomorrow they're going to make themselves visible in an indisputable way, like not as these O bags that were like, what is it? What could it be? It's going to be like, no, we know exactly what this is. So I'm very excited.
I am too.
What else? Who else is getting information?
Yeah, who else? Okay, Sugar 7373. I got really excited. They came to me, had super intense contact, then stopped contacting me in Nebraska. NE? Is that Nebraska?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On Tuesday, I believe it was, I had a client session and we channeled Mother Hecate and we asked about the aliens. And when we were going through it, we were like, I asked, are the drones or the orbs in the sky, are they from aliens? She was like, no. And then we asked extraterrestrials, no. And then we asked like another term, she said no. And I got this sense from her that like those were very offensive terms and that we need to just call them by like the species that they are. And the only one that I could remember was I think it's like Pleiadian or Pleiadian. And when I asked that, I said, are they those people? And it was a yes, finally. And if you look up about like the different like species, species, they're like considered Nordic. So they look very much like people from like Scandinavia and like really tall, with like all human like features, but like also like otherworldly in a way. So it's kind of interesting. So I think like when they do reveal themselves, we'll actually like learn their actual names instead of calling them aliens and extraterrestrials and such.
Black, do you want to come up and tell about your experience? You don't have to have your camera on. I'm wondering if people want to come and talk about their experience just briefly. You don't have to go into the origin of all things in your life with aliens, but just tell like a little story about an encounter you've had and as much. Okay, so I'm going to invite you, Black.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going. I gotta finish making those mini cupcakes. So
Okay.
it was great talking to you all tonight.
Yeah, it's good talking with you. Thank you for coming up, Mimi.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Okay, there she is. All right,
good night.
bye. So do you want your camera on or no?
No, it's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
I'm
How
laying
are
down anyway.
you?
I'm good. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Well,
Okay.
my story was I don't know what I was going through that time. I think that's when I first met you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through some difficult times, and I just looked through the sky and I was like, why is this happening to me? And I would just so focus on the sky. And every time I move, I see this light kept on moving. And I just went to sleep. For some reason, my room, I have a wall. It has a portal, and it came through that wall. But when it came, it almost like I understand everything this alien was telling me. It's almost kind of like speaking through like your mind. Like it wasn't like verbally, it was like a mind thing. And then it was like, remember, you came from us. Don't worry, whatever that you're going through, don't worry. And it was shocking. It
Wow.
was weird. And then the next morning when I got up, it was like something liquidy was inside my closet. And then my husband said, don't touch it. Whatever it is, don't touch it. And I said, well, we can't call the police. They were like, no, they're gonna think we're crazy. You can't do that. Yeah.
Oh.
It was weird. And I was scared to take any pictures. I didn't want to like send it to anybody. And my husband had to wear like a thick type of glove just to throw it away. And as soon as he threw it away, the glove was kind of like melted.
Oh my gosh. So what made you think it was from another planet versus like a spiritual encounter?
I don't think it was a spirit, because it's a spirit and something like that is totally different. Because I had spirits that come to me before. It was totally different. I was just gazing at it too much. I was gazing, and I don't know what I was going through. It was like in the month of maybe August or September, around that time. I was going through a lot,
Yeah.
and I would just focus on it. And I was, going through too much with my husband around that time, and then my daughter, and I was just frustrating, and I was just gazing, and I just wanted some answer. And it was just telling me, don't worry, remember, you came from us.
Wow. That's amazing. I love that. Well, ethical just dropped off. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for sharing that. So what did it give you a feeling of like ease? Did it make you feel kind of better? Like,
It was kind of like calm. It was like it calms me. It's trying to tell me like, whatever that you're going through, don't worry, everything will be okay. But I think like it was trying to tell me it will be back. I just didn't want to like try to, how can I say, go into that too much,
yeah.
but I think I will see it again.
Yeah. Well, if they're your people, you're going to see them again. Definitely.
I don't
Wow.
that was weird for me. That was the first experience, and there's times that I'm even scared to sleep in my room.
Yeah.
Remember, I live in North Carolina, in Wake Forest, and this area is a battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, that's my story, y'all.
Thank you for
Believe me or
sharing
not,
that.
but hey,
No,
that's
it's
my story,
good.
and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my story. No, it's good because it's like showing like positive examples of things. So I like that. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Um,
Thank
uh,
you so much, Sky
and
Girl.
it's good to finally talk to you.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I'm going to pop you back down and see if someone else has a story and they want to pop back up. But thank you for sharing that.
Okay, no problem. Good night.
Good night. Okay, does anyone else want to come up? Does anyone else have a story that they can tell of an encounter with a star being? I know, I actually think that we're not really from here. Like the whole, you know, I think we overly think like we're from Earth, but we're just here. This is just another place to be. And we're here experiencing this. And so I think we're kind of aliens. So I don't know. Yvette, you want to come up? Do you have a story about an alien encounter? I just want to make sure. Yeah, we're star beings too. That's why I don't think this is Earth School. I don't think it's that, I don't always go, oh my God, like, because I feel like we're talking about ourselves. We're aliens. So, Sassy Sag, when I was a child, I remember looking up to the sky, knowing that I am somewhere in the sky. Yeah, that's why I like my name, Sky Girl. I mean, sky to me is everything. Looking to the sky, I always feel like I'm longing for like a home or something, or the people that understand me. When I look into the sky, it's what I always have been since I was a child. I mean, I love Earth. I love how beautiful the plants and the animals are, but it's very, very, very hard here too. The life lessons are hard. It's very slow. It's sluggish. But that's what we like about it. That when we want to learn our Nina, hi Nina. I didn't know you were in here. Um, have you had an alien experience, Nina? I'm trying to just bring people up to tell stories about alien encounters that are positive. And I feel bad that Ethical had to go. Maybe she had somewhere to go. Okay, so you want to pop up, Nina? Let's see, Nina, invite. So if you have had an alien experience, I would love for you to pop up. Just quickly tell your encounter, and that's it. There you go. Hi.
Oh, I will quickly tell my encounter and then do that. Can you hear me? I have my phone plugged in.
Yep, I can hear
Okay,
you.
good. I had the same thing. Who just said that when they look up at the sky, they feel like home? You were saying that too.
Me,
I've
yeah.
always done that. I've looked up at the sky and gone like, oh, it just feels like home. Yeah, so I hadn't really. I mean, you have to remember that, like me, being in touch with my guides for anything other than my healing work has only happened since the costume contest. Like I haven't had that kind of like impetus to like share stuff and to connect beyond like what I'm feeling for the person that I'm working with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really actually pretty. It's like a fun, yeah. So the other night, God, what is time?
I know.
What, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, sometime in the recent past, all of these people are seeing these Orbeez in the sky, and I'm like, man, I'm in Montana. Like we have, I've seen, so I work in film, as I've mentioned, and
Oh yeah, I knew that.
yeah, film,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm hopefully getting out of it. I actually just turned down a job because I have enough clients and stuff right now that I don't need to do that. So here we go, manifesting. But anyway, so we were out in the middle of a field, and it's like there's no lights out here, like we're in BFE, and we were shooting, and we were all looking up at the stars, and a lot of the people who were up there they were from LA or somewhere else where you just don't see it because there's so much light pollution that you don't
Yeah.
get to see the stars quite as well. And so I said, hey, I asked the director, I said, when we're done with this, shooting day, let's turn off all the work lights and let people really see the stars, right? And so he did that, and it was beautiful because one of the PAs like production assistants actually dropped to his knees and started crying because it was so beautiful to see the sky without any light
Oh,
pollution.
it really
Um,
is.
it's so beautiful. But as we're looking, this light appears, and I think it was like yellowy, and it shows up in the sky, and then it went boop, boop, wing, and we were all like, "Whoa, what was that?" Right? So that, yeah, and so it's just in Montana. Like people see that. We went to the town the next day, and we were like, we saw this weird. We were telling the waitress, we saw this weird light in the sky, blah blah blah, and she goes, "Oh, that's just the aliens." We're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool." And so there's been times where we're driving at night and we just see this funny light that's not acting like it should, in the sky.
Mhm.
But with all the orbs, like people are seeing them, and I'm like, come on, man! Like I've got a picture window here. I can see into the night sky. Like, where are you? I want to see you. And I got, we're not supposed to be there. Everyone will see us, and this isn't where we're working right now. This isn't what we're doing. And I
Wow.
was like, okay, but I really want to see you. And I was like, just laying in bed, and I was like, I just want to see you. And over by the window, this, like, as I'm like just getting ready to go to sleep, I saw a form of a being like in the room, and it was like see-through, and it had this like it had a feminine feel, like in the shape or whatever, and it was like a blue electric-y light looking thing, and I was like, I just went, oh, and and I heard in my head, of course, I heard, really? You want to see us? I was like, oh,
Wow.
like it was like snarky, like kind of like sarcastic. It was really funny. And I was like, well, thank you for visiting, whatever, that's cool. And then and then it was gone. Like it poof, completely disappeared. Kind of like the times where I've seen spirits,
Yeah.
it just like was just gone the next moment in a blink.
Oh
But it
my
was really cool.
gosh.
And I was like, oh,
Wow.
okay. And so it just made me realize how much, like, we are not as we think we're ready, and we might not really be, and so that was just a really neat little experience. And since then,
Yeah.
with my pendulum and stuff, I've been like just checking and being like, wait, so my guides and stuff like that, I always thought of them as like angels and old relatives and my mom. And I met one of my guides just from the other realms, and I was like, but do I also have star being guides? And I got, yes, we are star beings. Actually, one of the pendulum reads I did the other night, when I got that weird message that was part of the whole, like, whether or not Dumpy Pants is actually on this earthly plane anymore. Like, there was this whole thing that happened for a bunch of us at the same time, which was so weird. But anyway, and part of that was the star beings came in and started talking, and I was like, oh, hi, okay, you're here in this thing, so it was neat to be
Wow.
able to
So
communicate.
a
And
couple
yeah,
things.
that's it.
Friend 402 asked if they have genders, and then I wanted to ask you about tangerines, like if you were one of the
Yeah,
psychics that picked that up.
I did, and it's so farking weird. And like, okay, first of all, I don't think that they have genders the way that we think that they do, but I also think that they do, in the sense, okay, here's my thinking on it. I have not checked with anybody and talked to them about this, but I really feel like they are, either we're their ancestors, and that's why they're protecting the earth, because, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, like it's all,
Mm-hmm.
and that this has all happened before, and they're here to like make sure that things keep going well here and protecting the earth. But they're definitely related, and we are star beings. We're made of, I mean, it's Carl Sagan, we're made of stardust, right? So I believe that we are. But I've heard people talking about these encounters that they've had where like star beings have actually like made other beings with them. Can I say sex? I'm going to say sex. They had sex with
Yeah.
them. And so I've heard these accounts and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, we're all just getting to know each other again, aren't we? These are all good questions to ask, and listen to our own intuition, do some automatic writing. You don't need a pendulum. You just need something heavy on a necklace or something like that. Clear your energy, say, get me out of the way, and what I want to hear, get it all out of the way, and just ask some questions and see, So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely, my mind goes into all these places of like, are they the future? Like,
Right.
coming back, are we, just all that kind of stuff? Because it feels like, why would they care, about
Right.
what we're doing unless, and they're so comfortable here too. It's almost like they know a little bit too much. They're like, don't worry about it. And you're like, have you been here before? Because you're acting like someone, um,
Get
oh,
real
I like
familiar, right?
minis. Pardon me?
It's all just so familiar. Like once we can
Hmm.
get past the like movies and all the stuff that Hollywood, and I don't think any of that was by accident either. Like the way that movies have portrayed them and the, ways, yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
all been to keep us from knowing what we really are and who we really are, just like a lot of other things. And we're uncovering ourselves all the time, aren't we? This intuitive thing, this 4 a.m. club thing, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like just our whole perspective of what and who we are and what's happening here has changed so much in the last 2 months. Holy mother.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a gift in some ways, even though it's a nightmare and we all want it to end. It's been a huge gift to connect with so many people. I have my friends, I have the people that I talk to like this, or in my own self that I, have my world. But to be able to be open about it like this, like come out of the closet with this spirituality and just be like, I talk to aliens, and just be like, it's
Yeah,
so healing for all of us to be
it
able to
really
just
is. And
talk like this.
I think that's why so many of us are here at this time, awakening that way or being our authentic selves I mean, I don't know about you, but when I first was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to post this stuff on this app and what? You want me to what? But what's happened is, and it was funny because Jennifer Lisa said earlier today, how neat it is because we're human. And so we also have that, like, I'm feeling a little uneasy and I'm not really sure. So we check in with each other. We have community now where we can check in and talk to each other about stuff. Like I'll get some stuff that is just not, for public consumption, in downloads and things. So I'll message Mimi or we'll have, and we can always take that offline and check in with each other. And that also is something that I think a lot of us didn't have before.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Cash. Hi, Carlene. Yvette, you want to come up? You said you had an encounter?
Did you want me to talk about the orange and the
Yes,
and the,
please, before
the
you go,
sweet
because a
on
lot of
for
people are
just a
asking for
second?
that.
Yeah,
Wait till
let
we
me
get
just
to
mention
that.
that real quick, and I'm going to get off anyway because I'm super tired and I get to rest. I
We
finally
have
get to
to
sleep
we have
in.
to manage our energy right now. Like,
Oh, so much. Yeah, and like I said, I've had this wonderful boost to my business and stuff, which has been lovely.
good. Oh,
Anyway,
congratulations.
yeah, I get to help more people.
Oh,
It's so
I want to ask
sweet.
you
I'm
before I
in love with
forget.
that.
Big Sky Documentary Film Festival is in Montana, right?
That's
Because you were saying
right.
it's such a big sky there, and I thought about that documentary film festival there. So, is
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
big
yeah.
festival?
It's great. It's a kooky, fun little town. We're the blue dot in the red state, and it's super fun here and super creative and arty.
Oh,
So you should
good.
come out. You should come.
I would. I will.
Okay.
I'll probably do a Dreaming Woman documentary and enter
Okay.
it there.
Nice. Well, I know some film
Everybody,
people.
yeah. Everybody follow Nina. I love Nina. Met her through Dreaming Women, right? Did I meet you
Yeah.
through Ethical? Or yeah, Ethical.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
so it's the weirdest thing because a bunch of us got, and I know there's people in the comments who are saying the same thing. We okay, so I was just walking into the bathroom to get ready for bed, and and it's interesting too. A lot more of my clairs have turned on since the 6th, which is also interesting. But I heard a voice say, he falls on Friday. And I'm like, what is that? And so I kind of thought I knew who oh, look at that. Oh, it's that bubble. And I thought, so I was like, what is that? And so I, of course, went to pendulum check it, and I recorded it. And I was sure about who it was referring to. And I did the pendulum check, and I was like, he falls on Friday. I'm like, is this is this a fall from power? Is this like, did he fall down? Is he going to literally like, slip on the ice or whatever? Or is this like, he's like falling? Like, I don't know why I even asked it, but I was like, is it like physical, like some kind of physical thing? And I got yes. And then At the same time, it was Jessica Cakes is the other pendulum
Oh
user.
yeah. Hmm.
Man, I don't know when she sleeps. She's like always answering everybody's pendulum thing. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so, but she, at the same time that I posted that in her time zone, got that he was dead or dying or gone or something, or was on the way out or in a coma or something. So, and then all these people in her comments started talking about that. And then we've all just been checking on it. And, every time I check on it, I just did it a minute ago. It's the same, like that. Yeah, he has. And so what but then we have like spirituality with Sam, was it Sam or Gia? One of them, our
I've
mamas.
merged
Yeah,
those two together in my mind so
yeah,
much.
it's
I
just,
always,
well, because they're like this one unit of like,
yeah,
we are the most like, experience, besides obviously Jennifer. But anyway, she said something about like she's not getting that and that it might just be symbolic, which of course is always a thing. I did a post today because people are like, the goalpost is moved and you said this would happen and it didn't, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I have to remind people that what we do as intuitives and psychics is not fortune telling.
yeah,
Like, I think people have this impression that like we're gonna like, have a crystal ball and be like, I see a tall, dark, handsome man in your future. It's not like that. It's
hmm,
like impressions. Like, I've worked with people and I'm like, I don't know, like I'm seeing like a monkey with a cowboy hat on. What does that mean? And the person's like, I don't know. But then like 4 weeks later, they happen to like, meet the person that they were expecting to meet, and they have like a sticker on their car with a monkey and a cowboy hat.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So it's very much like it's wobbly. It's not like,
Hmm.
and also it's I like to say that the readings are, if nothing changes, then this, right?
Yeah,
And that's why we've been checking over and over and over again about the final outcome of all of this, and that has not changed at all,
right.
right? So yeah, so anyway, so as far as I'm concerned at this point, it feels very much like something has physically happened, and that I would be surprised to see him in public at this point. Um, I'm not saying that's not possible, but I'm also saying, like if we're all getting, I mean, even Jennifer said that she kind of got it, and then she asked a bunch of other people, and all of her people said yes. So I don't know. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where we really have to wait and see if it's symbolic or if it's physical.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say about dates and stuff is that um there's so many things that are happening behind the scenes. So we're also getting stuff that's public, and they're getting stuff that's private. So I don't know. Sometimes I'll see something and I don't know if that's like, I'll get a feeling on a date, and then people go, haha, that date came and went and nothing happened.
I
And I'm
know.
like,
Yeah.
nothing happened that we know
I
about.
know. I get that all the time. I'm like, which is back to the fortune telling thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
also,
like,
we'll find out one day when there's like a book out or a movie about all this,
mhm.
and we're, keep track of what's going on. I have
Oh yeah.
videos, you know, but keep track. And I bet you'll find out days that people talked about were key dates behind the scenes. I bet you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, spirituality with Sam's real big on the dates. That's how she started, was all these dates, and everything, ended up happening on or around those dates. I had the FAFO thing. I was
Yeah.
like, people are going to have to, this is happening because like people need to see how bad we've gotten so that they can start creating something new. You
Yeah.
have the lotus rises from the mud, right?
Right.
And
That's right.
also, I saw the infighting, and that's part of it too. I also did some spell work around that. So, boy, we were
Also,
all the witches were like running around doing spells on the six. Like, I'm going to do this one, this one, and this one. Let's leave things at the crossroads. I don't know everything. Just throwing it all out there.
yeah, and I think also, in Horton Hears a Who, um, do you know that Dr. Seuss story where
Oh
there's
yeah,
the elephant, and then I'll just tell for anyone in this chat who doesn't know, um, the elephant is Horton, and he has this little flower or whatever it is. What are the like little things that you blow and then they go everywhere? But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, dandelion.
a dandelion, and he's holding it with his trunk, and he's looking at it, and he thinks he hears something, and he puts it to his ear. You know, his elephant, he has really good hearing, and he hears somebody talking to him. So meanwhile, back in the dust speck that lives on the flower, on the dandelion, is an entire town. It's Whoville. And so Whoville is the guy, one guy believes that there's life outside of there. So he's talking into this thing that he's developed that's like a megaphone into the sky. And he's like, "Hi, I'm here." And the elephant is like, "Oh my God, wait, you're real?" And then who is the mayor of Whoville is like, "Yeah, I'm real. We're real. We're a whole town of people." So anyways, he's walking around. He's so excited. And he's walking around with the flower, and he's talking to the flower, talking to the flower. And the monkeys in Horton's town start to think he's crazy. So they want to take the flower away from him and boil it. So they say, they're chanting, "Boil that dust speck, boil that dust speck." And they want it to be boiled and to get away. And he's fighting for them. He's like, "Please have everybody in Whoville yell as loud as they can so that the monkeys can hear you." So everybody's yelling. Everybody's yelling. They don't know what's going on. And they're saying, "We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here." And they just keep saying it, saying it, saying it. It's not breaking the sound barrier. So they run all the way through Whoville in every floor, on every place, and they find a little kid playing in his room. And they go, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. My voice doesn't matter. Like, I'm just playing. You guys keep chanting." They're like, "No, we need everyone's voice. Get over here." So they got him up and he joined the chant. And because he joined the chant, it finally broke the sound barrier. And as the flower is going into the water, they finally hear him say, "We're here, we're here." So this one last person's voice saved the entire town. I feel that the blueberries and the non-MAGA, basically, we all need to be woken up. We all need to find our voice. And some people are taking longer to do that than others. Some of us have been doing this for a while, and some people have never, ever spoken up like this. And this is absolutely terrifying them. And they're finding people online and they're starting to get excited. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can talk to you. I can listen to you." But in terms of really using their voice, and that's what's needed right now. And so I think the dragged out thing, even though it's driving us nuts, we got to get everybody as much as possible, into
And
their
it's not a
voice.
coincidence, I also really don't believe, and I did a reading a while ago, that there might be a blackout period with this app, but that we're going to be fine and we're still going to have it. I really believe that it's going to be bought by somebody and we're going to still have it.
Yeah.
But, free will is a thing. So I have backup stuff, of course. And what's great about it is that these things that shake us up, that feel like a brick wall and like, "Oh my God, it's hopeless." Well, then one little who says, "Maybe it's not hopeless. Maybe we can move over here." And another who says, "Oh, but what if we create this community over here? What if we do this?" And then all the who's start yelling and, coming together and being like, "Wait a minute. Like we do have power." And that's frickin' Pluto and Aquarius right there, baby. It's about power to the people and creating new systems and all this stuff. But in order for that to happen, we have to have that like, "Wait, that's not what I thought it was. That's not what it seems," or "I might not still have this thing." And, it's so important that, I've even had moments where I'm like, you know what, even if he does put his hand on the book on Monday, I still don't think he's going to stay there.
Right.
But maybe, I trust the divine has got our backs, I'm just one of those people who thinks life happens for us, and so even if that did happen, it's like, well, maybe there's more FAFO that needs to happen in order for this to really bring those people back from the brainwashing and where they are, So I don't know, it's all divine timing and everything's working out the way it's supposed to. And that's why I keep telling everyone over and over again, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out.
I like
there's
that.
such a huge, huge thing going on globally and beyond the globe. And, it's just, we're part of something so huge and it's just lovely, which is why we need to rest.
Yeah.
And we need to stay calm. And we need to, grab yourself a flat of water, do what you got to do, get your batteries and your radios and whatever, but also dance and have fun and breathe and relax. I've pulled back from dates and things and whatever, because people just get so wrapped up in it, because when humans are afraid, we clamor for control. It's just, I'm a neuroscience. That's part of what I do. And, we clamor for control when we're afraid. And that's why, we have to remember the power that we have to raise the energy, raise the vibration, hold the vision, and manifest this thing together, because we have so many freaking people manifesting this thing, right?
Yeah, I totally believe that we're building this with our beliefs. And that's why I feel like it's important. I don't care. People say, what if you're wrong? I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't even know what that is. Like, even putting it in the realm of right and wrong.
Yeah.
I know I know I'm right in interpreting what I feel and sharing that. Whether that lines up with what eventually happens, I don't really even care. I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of irrelevant, because if you're really learning how to listen to your intuition, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you already do this, you already get what I'm saying. If you're just starting, I just want to let you know, the more you listen to yourself, I'm speaking more so to resonate with other people. So if you are resonating with me, like when I went online and I started seeing people talking like this, that helps me. So if we're all feeling something, if a bunch of people are all feeling something, that means something. That means something, whether or not it actually ends up happening the way we're talking about it or not. There is a reality in what we're saying, and how will that manifest? I don't know.
Right.
So there's that. And then the other part is, you were talking about zoom out. One of the things I just made a video about, I'm going to post it either tonight or tomorrow morning, about zooming in, because into yourself, because we're all dealing with, what we're talking about here is our fears, what's happening, what's going to happen on Monday, but also we're all having a completely different experience from each other too, because we're individuals and we all have different relationships with our meaning of life. Why do we think we're here? What do we think is going on? Do we really trust God in the universe, or we just say we do? Do we really? Like, this is a great opportunity to check yourself. If you're freaking out right now, and I mean freaking out, you're terrified, that's a moment to look at yourself and say, why am I freaking out? What am I afraid of? Did I have a past life where I was in a war situation, or am I just not trusting God as much as I say I do? Or do I believe in this, or do I not? This is a great opportunity. It's a light shining on you and your connection to why we're here. We all have amnesia of why we're here. We came here, we were born, we don't know why we're here. So now we're having to think about it. And if the idea of all this is terrifying you and it's making you feel whatever, that's an opportunity to check in.
Yep. A shameless plug. I actually just, of course, because you're saying this and synchronicities are just on point.
That's right.
I just wrote a whole thing about that on my Patreon. It's like a free thing on my Patreon.
God.
I would love it if people would pay to join, because thank you.
I joined your Patreon.
Thank you. But yeah, I just wrote a whole thing about that, about how we see, because I don't know, people in the comments might not know, but I'm a somatic healer, and I also do neuroscience-based empowerment, mixed in with the intuitive stuff and spiritual development, because we need to heal and integrate stuff from our past in order to change how we're thinking, in order to tap into our higher self and be able to let that drive the bus, as it were, right? Instead of our nervous system and our minds. But the lens that we're looking at this through is so telling about what our struggles are, and what our beliefs are, and what programs we're running that we've been running rote and maybe they're not comfortable for us anymore. You can tell when that's not the case, when you really are uncomfortable and you're like, wow, I don't like thinking like this. Excellent. Now you have a chance to change that, right? But you have to look at the lens that you've been looking through things up until now. And so I literally just wrote a whole piece about that. Of course,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, really?
And also it's like, in the Truman Show, okay?
Yeah.
At the very end of the Truman Show, Jim Carrey's character, Truman, is so afraid of the things that everybody told him to be afraid of, because they were trying to keep him inside of the story. Right. And it was really effective because he was terrified. He never wanted, so finally he just lost it at the end. I'm sorry if I'm ruining it for you, but it's an old movie. Go check it out. Okay. He gets into this sailboat. He's just had it. He's had it with everybody. He has his feeling. He has that cognitive dissonance. Something feels off. People are talking weirdly. He's seeing the same patterns. He's going crazy. So he finally gets on this sailboat, and he goes out, and they're like, don't ever go in the sailboat. Whatever you do, don't do that. I don't even know what they said. It falls off or something. He decided he's had it. He's willing to face the fear, because facing the fear of anything that could possibly happen is less than the fear or the agony of living with this feeling that something's off and it doesn't feel right. So at the very end, he's facing the things that a lot of us right now are facing. But you know what happens? And this is what I keep feeling. I feel it in the moment when the part of the sailboat punctures the image of the sky, that backdrop, that painting, whatever it is, it's just and it rips it. Yeah. And he's like crying and it's dramatic and everything. And all of a sudden he hears it go through there and everything stops. And he looks around like, what? And he gets out. He can walk on the water because it's, it's shallow. And he finds the staircase. That was actually at Paramount Pictures where I worked. So I walked by that every day and saw that set.
That was the first film set I was ever on, was on the Paramount lot.
Oh, really?
When I was 19.
I loved my job at Paramount Pictures. That's my favorite lot. It's so cool. It's the oldest one in Hollywood. But, he walked up the stairs and that's when he says the famous, "Get out, in case I don't see you, whatever, good afternoon, good evening." He walks out or whatever. So,
that's a great comment. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
but
please do.
Ms. 321 said there are parallels happening for people between the joust and their personal lives, and there are no coincidences.
Bing. That's it.
Boom.
That's it. Yeah, I don't want us to miss this opportunity because I think everyone kind of gets into the movie of it and we all joke and say, get your popcorn. And I love that. And I am watching and I'm, but I am having an opportunity for myself to really go, for me, and I talk about this in the video I'm going to post, but for me, one of my challenges has been talking publicly about what I think, because I know what I think. I know my friends know what I think, but to actually put it on a video and then have people go, "I thought you said," like we were just saying, and I'm okay with it. I'm actually really proud of myself. I faced my fears with that, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll answer some of them, and other ones I'm like, oh, it's a bot. I just block it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's isn't it something like, oh my gosh, the resistances that we have had to, as 4 a.m. clubbers who have not been public facing with this stuff, like the growth has been enormous, and just those integrations over and over again about who am I now? Who am I now? Yeah. Who do I need to be for the people? Like, how do I, comfort them and bring them information that they need versus not, and, deepening those relationships with ourselves and clearing it. This is collective shadow work.
Yes.
Big collective shadow work, where it's on the scale of, what our institutions are and the CEOs and all this stuff and this worldwide thing and all the, the people disrupting systems that haven't been working for them all around the world. And, and then it's, as we say in witchcraft, as above, so below, as within, so without. So it's, of course, it's completely connected,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
It's great, really neat.
Holy schmolies.
I always tell people, I say, please, use this as an opportunity, check in with yourself. When people try to put any of the dreaming women or 4 a.m. people, like, they're like, you guys are, and I'm like, we're no different. We're literally the same. All we've decided to do is turn on our camera. Some of us work in spirituality like Nina does, but, some of us don't. Some of us just felt a calling to turn on our camera and talk. So even the people in the comments, you guys mean so much to us, because seeing your comments is like power also, because we're like, okay, we're all seeing this, we're all feeling this. It's a big community, and it's been very beautiful, and I'm really glad.
So much love. Oh my God, the love, like people just being like, just to each other. Like, I love seeing the comments, and they're just like, I just see them talking to each other and comforting each other and encouraging each other, and this connection and community, this web that we're creating is just gorgeous. And so who the frick cares? Like getting all hung up on like, but what about where's Couch Potato? Where's Jay Van? It's like, who cares? Like, it's all going to work out. Yeah. And let go of the details a little bit and just like zoom out.
I love that. Create Courage. Do you want to come up and talk about your life-changing experience?
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Nina. I love your energy. I love everything. Thank you for coming up here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wait. Someone
I
asked if you could explain Patreon, and everyone's telling me I should
Oh,
get on
sure.
Patreon.
So yeah,
What
so
is it?
so Patreon is a site where you can pledge like $5, $10, $25 a month for different kinds of content, for lots of creators. Like I support like Amanda Palmer and like Greg and Dana Newkirk and other people. So you basically pay for a membership in these tiers, and so like the first tier you get like a certain amount of content that takes a certain amount of effort, for the creator. And then the next one, you get something that takes a little more effort and it's a little deeper. And then, the next one, maybe it's like personal. Like for me, it's like I'll do more personal stuff. Like if someone, needs a quick pendulum read on something, but I share it with the whole group because when we help one person, it often affects somebody else, who's watching. You can go live on there. You can do all different kinds of stuff, have chats, but it's a paid thing so that, like I love creating, free content on TikTok. It's awesome. But also, I don't have 10,000 followers and I have my other business, but it would be nice to be able to go deeper with a community and build a community and also get, $5 a month for it.
Yeah.
Would be,
Well,
is
and
a nice way to do it.
I know there's like a guy that I love, the Creative Pep Talk. If anyone
Yeah.
in here knows who he is, God, I love him. Andy J Pizza. So he has a Patreon, and he has one level that's free, and basically it's an email list, and it's very smart to just. It's
Oh,
a way to keep people that want to know about you, but maybe can't afford it right then. Keep
sure.
them orbiting your world.
Oh
But
yeah, and
you're
I do
offering
free.
things.
Yeah, there is a free option, and I do post stuff. Like the thing I did tonight is free. It's just if I'm going to do a whole like full moon ritual
Yeah.
breakdown with
No.
correspondences and all this stuff and meditations and mantras and
Yeah.
numerology and astrology and all that stuff. Like, could someone give me $5 for
No,
that? That'd
you
be cool.
absolutely, and you should
And we
be.
also have
Thank you.
oh, nice hat.
You won. Thank
That
you,
was
Judge
totally Boy
Travis.
George. That was like a Boy George hat.
I know. What hat is that? Wait, hold on. A
The other thing
Paddington
too,
hat. That's cute.
Paddington. Okay, I love Paddington.
No, if you're putting like value into it,
Right.
absolutely, there should be that exchange there, and I think that helps. It helps you sustain you to keep
Yeah.
bringing quality
Yeah.
everything to people. So it's a win-win. So if you're
Yeah.
considering it, anyone in the chat, someone like her who is very professional gives so much more than what even gets. I'm sure you get back. She's definitely someone worthy of your energy
Thank you.
because
And also on that money front too, like people are giving you gifts through this live and stuff.
yeah.
That's the other thing with this whole new world is we got to drop the money trauma stuff. Oh, thank you. Somebody just joined my Patreon.
Yay! Good. Thank you.
But it's like that money thing is so weird because like we hate billionaires, right? Absolutely. But, people who are good, people who have money do good things with that money. What if money was something that was like a lovely and easy thing to just exchange with each other without all of those stories and beliefs and stuff like that around it? And we just started this flow and exchange, right? Like
Yeah.
we need to also drop all of that. And I think with spiritual leaders too, we have a little bit of a bad taste in our mouths around like spiritual teachers or guides or people like that, and now how they shouldn't be charging money for it because we're all messed up from tithing from churches, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Related to
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
But I'm happy to support all the artists and creators that I do on there. I've got
Me
like
too.
5 or 10 of them that I do that because we all support each other and help each other.
Ah, you got a hat.
I love that hat.
Travis. That's so cute.
All right, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Other people
Bye.
wake up.
Thank you.
Bye. It was good to see you. Bye.
That was cute, Travis. I'm glad you did that right at the end. Perfect. Okay. All right. I see that Yvette wants to come up, but I can't figure out how to ask Yvette to come up. I think you have to follow me, Yvette, so that you can show up on my list here of people in the room because I can't even find you. And I saw that you don't follow me. So I'm just throwing that out there that maybe you should follow. I know Stephanie. I love her. Nina's great. She's wonderful. I thought I saw Ethical pop in. I'll have to check if she sent me a message. Maybe she had a phone call or something. Yeah, so you guys, we're in the time now where support. Okay, you just followed me. Let's see if you're there now. I still don't see you. I'm scrolling all the way down. Let me just see if I can see you. Can you request it now, Yvette? Yeah, I don't see you. And I can't just, maybe is it here? No, Yeah, I think I just sent you an invitation. There you are. Oh, Ethical put it in the chat that she had to go, and good night. Thank you, Stephanie. I didn't see that. Okay, good. Thank you. Hi, Yvette.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad that I stumbled upon you today.
Me too.
I wanted to share an encounter that I had. Well, I've had a few encounters, but one of my main ones was when I was a kid living in New York City. I was outside playing with my friends, and up in the sky, I happened to look at the sky, and I seen like a spaceship, but it was weird because it was kind of like cloaked. It was cloaked for other people, but I could see it.
Hmm.
And I remember telling one of my friends, "Did you just see that?" And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I seen like a figure of a woman. And it was weird because she was beautiful though. It was like she was like bluish. Um and very beautiful blue eyes. Very like deep blue eyes. And like blondish hair. And I remember like like it was weird because she was talking to me like telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm part of the Pleiadians." And I'm like, "Really?" And I said, "So you guys do exist?" They're like, "Yes, we do exist. You will see our presence in the future." And I'm talking about when I was like about 7, 8 years old in New York. I'm 52 years old now. When I was pregnant with my third child, that was my son, I kept seeing spaceships. Me and my husband at that time, he was in the military. And we came to visit my mother in Florida, which, as a matter of fact, I don't live far away from, the mango person, only 15 minutes away.
Mm.
And we kept seeing a lot of spaceships. It was like a lot of spaceships. We go travel around Florida, and especially around St. Augustine, a lot of spaceships all the time. But when I was pregnant with my son, we kept seeing them a lot. When my son was born, it was so weird because I kept saying my son is an alien. And all my friends wanted pictures. And if my son hears me saying this, he'd be like, "Mom, that's not cool." But he really did look like an alien. He really, really, really did. He had a protrusion, like a big vein in the middle of his forehead. I mean, it was big.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was big. Like I would take pictures of him and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, my son does look like, you know how they call him like the grays?"
Yeah.
But with a big protrusion in the middle of his forehead.
Oh my
And
gosh.
people would ask me for pictures. I'm like, "No, when he gets I never sent, and I would send pictures of my other kids. But with him, because of the way he looked, with that in the forehead, I didn't want people like making fun and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like that no more, but he is a starseed.
Wow.
Very intuitive. When I was a kid, also in New York, I remember always looking up at the sky and asking my mother, "Mom, have you ever looked up there? Have you not realized that we have more life up there? And how many stars you think are up there?" She goes, "I don't know. You always asking so many questions and stuff like that." She goes, "Ask your teacher." I go, "Ask the teacher." She goes, "What, whatever, infinity and stuff." But I would tell everybody, that there's life up there, right? We're not the only people here. And I had the gifts of telling people things as a child. I used to be a reader.
Oh
I
wow.
would read people since I was like 5, 6 years old, all the way up till I ended up working many years after in psychic lines, um, which actually they wanted me to do a commercial. They were going to pay for a commercial here in Fort Lauderdale. I didn't want to come because I didn't feel like I was married. I had at that time 2 children, and I didn't feel like I want to be exposed to that. But
Mm.
as far as what I've gotten, because I don't dream very often, but when I do dream, it comes through. I see it.
So it's like prophetic dreams.
Yes, like these dreams. And like I said, I don't dream very often, but when I do, it's always a significance. If I dreamt, like when I got divorced, when I dreamt with animals, it meant that my ex-husband was taking me to court to try to reduce child support, let's say, right? I knew every time it was an animal that I would dream of, it was
Interesting.
legal stuff, right?
Wow.
Anytime I see a hearse, I knew that spirit was telling me, get prepared, you're getting news of somebody passing.
Mm.
Okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't like seeing hearse because I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Other things as well. I I know they told me that they were going to be coming to Earth. The Orange Man came here specifically as a disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll explain it. Everything can't be perfect in life, okay? It just can't be. If everything was perfect, there's nothing for us to learn as lessons, okay? In the soul contract, it was, I'm going to be a disruptor of things. There's going to be a lot of chaotic things going on, but through that, you will wake up. You notice how people starting to wake up now? They're not agreeing with the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
If this would have never happened, we wouldn't have such a big awakening. People are they're starting to get back, what they have, what you were born with. We were all born to see, to feel, we are of source,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to say that's not my preference, that person,
Right.
but it's a human being, but it's a disruptor. And in order for all this to take place and all these changes to go through, he had to come and disrupt everything and make everything chaotic for a big awakening of humanity.
Right.
Because sometimes it has to be hard
Mm-hmm.
for certain situations to happen for us to say, you know what, wait a minute, we don't want this. We want love, we want peace, we want this, we want that, It's
Yeah.
a soul contract.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the greed, the money, the power got into the person's psyche, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And has done more things that he had in his contract, because we all have free will.
Mm-hmm.
What I will tell you, though, they all will pay for everything that they've done. They all will.
Yeah.
This one, unfortunately, yes. Because I love humanity, whoever it is, whether they're good, whether they're bad, I send love,
Right.
to each and every one, because we cannot wish ill, because we have karma,
Yeah.
but this person will not be around for long, if probably not right now, but I mean, probably still is. But everything that has been done in the dark, it is going to come out in real soon.
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to start noticing all these things, all these people that you thought were good. Everything's going to come out. We're going to be in shock. We're going to be in shock. And the reason why they are here is because there's a lot of nefarious people out there trying to damage Earth.
Yeah.
They're not going to allow it to happen. They're not allowed to interfere. Okay. The only reason they can interfere is if the Earth is going to be disrupted in a way that is, it's just no coming back,
Yeah.
So they will show up. That's the only time that they can interfere in our atmosphere so that it doesn't happen. And we can raise our, we're going to raise our vibrations and stuff like that and be able to take care of Mother Gaia, because they've destroyed everything.
Yeah.
Everything's been destroyed. People don't realize that everything is important. A flower, water, everything is important. And you have the draconians, you have the reptilians. They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. And they're in the elites,
Mm-hmm.
They have they cloak themselves as human beings. They're in the governments. They're in a lot of things, and a lot of these things are gonna be shown because we are shifting. We are starting to waken up that we are powerful beings. We all are. A lot of people are afraid. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. We all mapped this before. We came at a time where all these beings are coming, because it's such a major event to see how we, what do you call that? I am trying to remember that word. How we evolve. They're coming because it's a special moment
Yeah.
for us to be able to shift and stuff like that. Don't be afraid. I noticed a couple of people saying they're very afraid. Don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
You got this. We all got this. And it all has to do with community as well. Whether we lose, we lose power, we lose whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
As long as things shift and change, and the people that have done damage to all of us, through, to all humanity, because of the greed, Money is good to pay your bills and stuff like that and maybe have a vacation or two. But when you have all this money and you don't take care of homeless, you don't do anything for anybody else, that's not good.
No.
So it's a shift. They're coming here. The first ones we're going to see are going to be the Pleiadians. Once we get used to the Pleiadians because they look more human-like, they're going to be having their ships, and I believe already there's a few of them. Some of them are cloaked, but I think there's one around the Caribbean right now that is noticeable.
Right.
But there are a whole bunch. They're just cloaked right now. Last week, I took my son to the library, and my daughter told me something about the moon. She says, "Mom, you didn't notice it was like a black moon or something?" I'm like, "Really?" When I put my camera up there. But when I put my camera up there, I kept seeing something moving. And it was going from one side to the other, to the other, to the other. And I said, "Hold on a second." I went and I took a video. I actually posted it on my TikTok.
Oh.
It was a
What night was
green.
that?
I'm trying to remember. It was like about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It
Okay.
was on a Thursday. But the weird thing about it is I took pictures of it as well. I sent it to one of my friends because one of my friends has had a lot of contact with ETs. Like he's seen them so much. Like when he
Wow.
was married with his kids, his whole family seen them. He was seeing them over here in Florida around an area called Jupiter. He had a lot in contact with them, a lot of encounters. And I said, you do know that you are from one of those, you are starseed, you are from one of those planets. And he says, "You know what? I feel like I am." Well, when I showed him the picture of it, I took the picture and I took the video and then I took a picture of the picture. When I opened it up, it looked like a white orb. It
Hmm.
looked like, like something opened up, like when something opens up in the sky and it's just like, what was the girl saying earlier? That she said that something opened up on her wall.
Oh, like a portal?
Yes, it looked like a portal. But you know what's so weird about the whole thing is? I started thinking about my uncle. My uncle was ill. And I don't know, for some reason, I just kept thinking about my uncle, because my friend was like, "You know what? That's a spirit. You're the only one who's seen it, right?" I said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "It does look like a spirit." But then again, I don't know. It was moving all over the place.
Yeah.
The next day, my uncle passed.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe spirits and
It could have been my
aliens,
grandmother.
it's all interchangeable, you know?
Interchangeable, exactly. But it was
Yeah.
so weird because I said it was like the green light from one corner, and I seen it from the camera. I say, "Oh man, I gotta record this. Hold on a second." But I just want people to know, don't be afraid. If power goes out, it goes out. You know
Yeah.
what? Get a book, get a flashlight, get a book, read. That's what I did. I went to the library, I got me a whole bunch of books. I don't know if anybody's ever been in a blizzard where power goes out, or I live in Florida, hurricanes, power goes out I've not had power for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Get a
wow.
book. Don't look at social media for a while,
Yeah.
okay? And meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Meditate. I know it's hard for people to meditate. I used to meditate so much. I knew who my husband was going to be and everything. When I was like about 18 years old, I seen him,
Oh, wow.
and everything. I knew how many children I was going to have, all that,
Wow.
the power of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people can't meditate. Like right now, I used to meditate a lot before. I can't meditate as much anymore. I have a child that has ADHD and is autistic. I have a lot of grandchildren around me, so it's really hard for me to meditate. But you can meditate walking. Go to a park,
That's true.
touch a tree, hug a tree. I'm serious. We
Yeah,
have
no, you're
parks over
right.
here in Florida, and they're beautiful. And I like going over there. I'll hug a tree. I'm like, I don't care who's looking at me. I'm hugging a tree. I
Yeah.
love nature. I love birds. Look at birds, look at squirrels, whatever.
Yeah.
Get that peace, because we have to vibrate high in order for us to be able. For the people that haven't seen them yet, in order for you to see them, you have to vibrate at a higher frequency, and they're not here to hurt you. They really are not. They're really here pretty much to make sure that the crazies don't do crazy things to our existence, because they own this land, not us. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the ETs.
Yeah.
They are the owners of this land, not us.
See, I love the people that have had experiences that I've heard,
Hmm.
you included, that you're not afraid. You sound
No.
very confident, happy, like it's a positive experience. I think people need to hear that. Because we have Hollywood movies to make us all afraid of it, but we need to hear from real people's experiences, because this is what we're moving towards, and we don't need to be afraid, just like you're saying.
But the thing is that with Hollywood, the reason why, you see, they've always shown the truth to us. The problem is that they've shown that these aliens come and they invaded, and stuff like that, and they did this to us. That's because they've been hiding it for so many years. Okay? A lot of technology that we have is from them.
Yeah.
Where do you think those cyber trucks are coming from? Where do you think they're made from? You understand? They've lied to us for so long. They don't want us to know because they want to be in power. They want to make sure that they keep us enslaved. But you know what? The eyes are being opened, and people starting to realize the things that they're doing. So they're trying everything that they can. It's like, I don't know. I used to be a Christian. I mean, I believe in God and everything and stuff like that. But I there were certain things in the religion that, I would just get so upset. Like, you do this, you're going to hell. You do this.
Yeah.
Listen, please.
Yeah.
I woke up from that. I said, no, 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 no. How you know that?
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is very religious. Like I told her the other day, before my uncle passed, like a week before, I said, my uncle's going to pass. I've seen it already. And she says, oh, I don't believe in none of those things, that the Bible says. I said, you know what? Have you ever thought about that man manipulated the Bible?
Yeah.
Hello? How do you think they control people?
Mm-hmm.
If people
and
know
also
about reincarnation,
they also make it so that they try to make people afraid of their own
Yes.
connection to God. We all
Yes.
have our own connection to the universe
Yes.
through intuition, through our body, through animals, through the sky, through,
yes.
and they act like that's the devil. And you're like,
Yes. That's what
No.
really got me upset, because I was like, you know what, and I said, I said, my father was an evangelic. My mother was Catholic. I grew up in the church and everything. And one day and I was a reader. And one day I remember I was, mentioning something in a group, and I said, I've been a reader for many years and this and that. And they looked at me like I was crazy, like I had 20 heads, like I was from the devil. I said, I was born with this. This was something I had since I was a child.
yeah,
So how could it be from the devil if I
Yeah.
was born with this?
right.
And I'm like, no, they're not gonna they're not gonna suppress what I was born with.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. They're trying to keep me, with my eyes closed, like bandaged, like, no, that's all bad. You're gonna go here. No, I'm not going to go. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
I vibrate at a high frequency as much as I can. I'm not gonna say I'm human. I get upset like everybody else. We have our moments.
Yeah.
But I try to, vibrate in high frequencies. If I feel like I'm upset, I go and I tell Alexa, play, high frequency music for me. Yes, I do.
Smart.
And my kids are like, how you always listening to that music? I said, because you know what? I need to be in a space in my life with all the stuff going on. I need peace.
Good. Good.
So for everybody, listen to music.
Music
read a
is so
book.
big. Yeah.
Yes, listen to music. Sing. Even if you can't sing, guess what? Doesn't matter. Sing.
Yeah. Right.
Be happy. Just be like in the next week, like even smile, laugh at something. It doesn't matter. Just when you laugh, you bring your frequency high.
Yes. Laughter is a
when you
big way.
laugh,
Laughter is a big way to bring your energy up. Absolutely. Yeah.
There's this thing when I went to college is if you're up, you're up. If you're down, you're down. If you're in between, you're either up or down. So you better be up
Yeah.
so that you can vibe. I'm serious. Just
No,
vibrate
that's right.
high, and stuff like that. But I don't want anybody to be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know a lot of people, are in the religion, forget about, everybody, religion works for different people because they
Yeah.
do need certain things in their lives, and that helps them. But
Yeah.
don't let anybody make you think that because you're a cigarette smoker or because you have a drink once in a while that you're from the devil and you from this and you from that.
No.
Okay. I
Yeah.
had a pastor in Puerto Rico years ago when I was married. My ex mother-in-law, my husband and I used to smoke cigarettes, and he told me that I was going to hell because I was a cigarette smoker. I said, you know what? Don't say that to me.
Yeah.
So don't say that to me because I smoke a cigarette. This is what relaxes me. I don't harm anybody. I'm not out there cheating on my husband. I'm not doing this, but you guys go in there, you do all kinds of stuff behind you being a pastor.
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
weeks after his church burned down.
Oh,
The whole church burned down.
Better watch what you say to people. That's
You
right.
know? It's
Well,
like
thank you.
don't,
Thank you,
but
Yvette, for coming up here and sharing your story. I really think it's helping somebody in here. I mean, even me, it's helping me because you sound so solid with it. Like, I totally feel like this is nothing to be afraid of at all. So, thank you very much for sharing your
don't be
story.
afraid. Don't be afraid. They're gonna come. We're gonna have contact, and it's gonna be great. They're not gonna do everything for us, okay? We have to do our own work too, but we gotta raise that frequency, raise your vibration, be happy. All right.
Yeah. Thank
Lots
you
of love
so
and light
much.
to everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye. That was nice. That was good. Thank you, Yvette. There was someone else that said they had an experience, something they wanted to share. Um, let's see. Also, make sure you check her out, Yvette. Maybe she'll say something. Yvette, if you're still here, maybe say something so I can pin your comment for a few minutes because if you want to go to her page and look at the video, she talked about what she filmed, the moon and different things. Okay, here she is. So I'm going to go ahead and pin her. Make sure you guys follow her, check out her post that she talked about, and I'm going to check it out as well when I get off of here. But okay, so who wants to come up next and talk about their experience? And then I'm going to do a meditation with you guys with my handy dandy amethyst and draw out any anxiety you have so we can all have a good night rest. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, it was MSJ. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay, so MSJ do. Where do I find you? I think you have to send in a request. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Oh, I think I just sent you an invite. I don't know. It's hard to do this. Let's see. Do. I don't know. Hi, JJ. Thank you, Matthew. It's good to see you. Thank you for the heart me. All right. Hi, Laura. I love seeing the regulars. Laura, Ms. Ninja, Phil. Oh, how do I send? Let me see. I don't know how to do. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just sent you an invite. I have to open up the person and then I have to tap on the little heads. Okay, JJ, after this person, and then I'll do you, and then I'm gonna do a meditation. Hi, MS. What do I call you? What's your name?
Hi, you can call me Jessica. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you want your camera on or off?
No, off is okay.
You're like off. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
really
So, what
nice
would
to
you like
meet
to
you.
share with us?
I've been watching you and Jennifer on lives, mostly on YouTube, so it's really nice to talk with you.
Oh,
But yeah,
good.
in regards to my story, so I call them the blue beings. When, after the joust, I kept hearing, "We are your council, we are your council," and it was like a new group of guides coming in. And with them, I feel like he's temporary. I call him Docs. That's just the name that I gave him. But it is a blue being, and he keeps trying to show me things about Egypt.
Oh,
And he's been telling me, different messages about when they'll be here more consistently, when people will be seeing them, out in the open more. But up until that point, and he mentioned like 2031 or something. But up until that point, of course, they'll be connecting with people telepathically. But it's all just for our ascension, as we know. And they've been showing me, like I said, different things about Egypt, walking me through like this street. And every time I connect with him, he takes me through this street. And one time he took me into this space in front of, I guess it's a pharaoh or something. I don't really know the language for, what to call the people. But the person was kind of sad to be in his position. And I didn't understand what I was supposed to do or learn from that. So I was like, okay, I don't consent to this right now. And I backed away. But I feel like they're just, they'll be easing us into it to get us used to the idea, like the women have been saying, throughout the night here.
yeah.
But am I afraid? No. And I've always thought it was possible. How could we be the only thing in the whole universe how like, you know, egotistic and arrogant of a thought, right?
Right.
And I do ask a lot of larger questions. Okay, what is this for? If we build up, if you know, civilization has been built up to different points throughout history, and then it's kind of wiped out, and then it starts again, and then it's kind of wiped out. And I'm always wondering, like, well, what are the bigger, you know, reasons? And so I'm still tussling with that. And I think Docs has answers for me if I allow them in. And so I try to, you know, relax and get into meditative states as often as I possibly can. But it's been interesting, and I call him a he. I don't know really, but he feels friendly.
Mm.
Like I'm safe, like there's nothing to fear, and it feels very, you know, very friendly. So I hope that people understand that too. We've got really uh, conditioned, right? We're conditioned to think about how they look and what their intent and purposes are with us, and you know, in really like terrible ways or something from all the movies. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that at all. It's actually been really nice. And
Mm.
he'll come and tap on my glasses in my mind's eye, like, "Hey, can you see me in there?" You know, and I'm like,
That's
"Yeah,
so
boss."
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But anyway,
what
go
makes
ahead.
you think? Let me ask you a couple questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know if it's the difference between like it's a star being or a spirit? Maybe just a, even though I think it's interchangeable, like what made you think this is definitely an alien or a star being?
Because he made sure to show up in blue as a blue body.
Mm.
And that's not house spirit. So I do this work, and I've been doing it professionally since about 2017. And I don't do much on social media. And I've been really, you know, in the habit of keeping my visions to myself unless I'm working with a person directly that I feel it can help. And
Mhm.
so sharing them out loud and in public spaces is really, really new to me. But um, to answer your question, spirit shows up for me differently. I've got my rules of how they need to come in because it used to freak me out when I was younger. And I
Mhm.
was like, dude, no, we can't do that. And so I had to set up a lot of different boundaries and checks and balances of how they can show up. And so I know very clearly the difference. And Doc's also, he'll stand to the side in a spot that I did not designate for spirit to come. And he shows up, and he's in, you know, in his full blue body. Um, and the closer, and I can zoom in and like see his features, his face, you know, in a lot of detail. And so that's how I know.
So Griffin asked, so are their blue bodies bright or dark, shiny or slimy? I think that is what most fear, their looks.
Yeah, so it's the way it's shown to me. Now, whether or not this would be literal, you know, because sometimes things show up for us in our mind's eye a certain way, and then in the physical, it's a little different. But it shows up to me just as like a middle blue color. It's not super dark, not super light, a middle blue color. And there's highlights around, you know, various parts. So I can see like the light shining on his shoulders, and, you know, just highlights the way that they are on our skin, underneath our eyes or whatever. So that's what I see. Does it feel shiny? Not really, not to me. Certainly doesn't feel slimy or look slimy to me. Um, but again, you know, who knows really until we see one in person in the 3D or however that works whenever they make you know, that direct contact with us. But that's how he shows up to me, and maybe he's over exaggerating, like who knows, just so
Yeah.
that I know he is what he is. But
I love that. I love, like, I love both you and Yvette, and like just the way you're describing. It's like so matter of fact, and that's healing. That's really good. This
well,
is
yeah,
good.
right, because when I first started seeing him, I thought, okay, am I going nuts? Because I it just, you know, like a week or so before had read the story of how they brought the evidence to to Congress, or they were having a hearing or something, and they were discussing it. Like, yeah, you know, they live in the ocean and they're for real and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, am I just like, you know, is this my imagination on steroids? Even though our guides will use our imagination, I understand that. But even when I wasn't thinking about it, you know, I kept hearing or like seeing his little fingers tapping on my glasses, like, hey, can you see me? Can you see me? And I'm like, all right, okay. And usually while I'm in a meditation or coming out of one. So,
Wow, that's amazing. Does anyone in the chat have any questions you'd like me to ask her? This is amazing, though. Thank you for sharing. Give him a second to
yeah.
ask in case anyone. I'm trying to think if I have any questions. The blue, what I get is almost like see-through, almost when you're talking about docs. Is he see-through at all? I picture something where you can almost see behind.
It doesn't appear to me like that, but again, you know, not to say that that's inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
But I know because again, like I've been doing this work for a while, and I used to do meditations almost every day for like 3 hours, and
Wow.
I don't have that stamina anymore. And I know that sometimes because I'll hear it, you're going too fast. Like I just want the message already and to pop out, you know.
Yeah.
And no, I really just have to sit with it. And I know that I could go deeper and I could understand that what he's trying to tell me about Egypt if I would just slow down. And so I'm trying to build that muscle again. Maybe not 3 hours of meditation, but you know, okay, an hour and a half or something.
Yeah. Now, you said you saw us on YouTube. Do you have a channel on YouTube? Do you post there?
Yeah, I do. And I've got like 11 videos up so far. Very new to this public thing, but my guides have been like, yo, you got to go out there and say stuff.
Yeah.
We give you all this information and then you just, you don't share enough of it. And so I'm really, really working on that. But yeah, I'm over there at Straight Wisdom with Jessica. That's what it's called.
Great wisdom. Is it in your bio here on this account? Is there a link to it?
No, here,
No.
but I can type it in the
Okay, that'd be great.
yeah, because I don't do anything on TikTok. I just joined because people kept sending me videos and I couldn't view them, you
Exactly.
know. And so, but yeah, Straight Wisdom with Jessica.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm recording, you know, obviously when you go live on TikTok, it creates a recording, and then I've been posting those on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that's where I've been seeing you. I saw you first on Jennifer Lisa Vest's. I love
Nice.
her storytelling. It feels like, okay, story time, you know, cuddle up and get your blankie, the way that she tells it. And it's been really good, especially when you go out in other spaces and across the internet and you see how people are losing hope.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I start to feel my energy slip, I say, okay, let me go check out a video from somebody who knows, you know, who knows the know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that is one of the biggest, well, maybe it's a big lesson for me and a lot of other people, is just to learn how to keep the hope. Like we give it up so easy. We just get, okay, oh, that's it. It's done. And it's just like nothing is said and done yet, you know,
Yeah,
nothing
that's
is
right.
official yet. And so I think that that's one of our biggest lessons for me as well, because I recognize it, and there's something that's so like unyielding about this for me, though. Like I cannot just give it up, you know. And I'm just like, nope, we just got to see it through.
Yeah.
And I feel like the conviction in my heart, and that's very different for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like something pushes you. Like even for me coming on TikTok, you know, I was like, I felt compelled to come onto TikTok. And I was like, I don't know. And I'm in a weird time in my life and I can't picture like, what am I going to say? Like, who cares, you know, whatever. And so I just started posting, and then I started going live, and, you know, it just sort of, it's like breadcrumbs. So if you follow the one intuitive push, it kind of leads you to places that now it's making sense. I think, God, if I were just alone at home going through all this and I hadn't had any kind of a community and I couldn't talk to other people about this, I think that would drive me nuts. So it's been helpful. Well, thank you for coming up. Let me check and see. I saw Janine's comment and I want to say that as well. Well, thank you very much for coming up here. I really enjoy it. I followed you back. I'm going to follow you on YouTube and check out your videos, but I think you should start posting more because you definitely, the way you describe it is very calming. So there's something about that kind of voice that the world needs. The
Hmm.
world needs us,
Yeah, no, that's
right?
totally true, and I appreciate everything you all do on your lives here because it's definitely needed. I've been checking in with you all day. It's like, oh,
Uh,
she's got a
I
she's
know I
got a
wanted to go live
meditation
earlier
over
today, but it
here.
was like, I couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
Well, I will try to go live earlier on tomorrow. I might be able to, and even Sunday and Monday because this is like go time. But I kind of feel like I'm the late night shift. You know, all the other dreaming women are earlier in the day, and then I'm like, hey everybody, it's midnight. Let's talk. You know. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming up, and I'll see you. I'll see you on YouTube or back in the comments or something.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Bye bye. Yeah,
Bye.
everybody, make sure you follow her. Oops, I forgot why I didn't put her thing here. Janine, I saw your comment and I wanted to read it. Okay. Janine said, our lovely Janine. Hi, Janine. I've missed you. I had a former doctor who was well known in my community as being a strong believer and supporter of aliens, I think. He built his house with a flat roof so he could have visitors. He was a fascinating man. And Janine is in Canada. Hi, Jacob. You're the 13th subscriber. Really? You are? Are you a subscriber? Thank you. Create courage. I didn't know you were still here. I'm glad you're here. Yvette, I just told my daughter if our power goes out, I have a gas stove and we'll cook for all my neighbors. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Okay. I know. Doesn't Travis have the best desserts? And you can't watch Travis's videos without wanting to either drive in a BMW around the fall roads or winter and or eat delicious looking breakfast. Desserts. Janine said, I love your energy, Jessica. I appreciate you sharing your experience with docs. And she spelled it very fancily, DAUX, docs. I was just picturing DOX, like, what up, docs? Okay, so let me go back. Stacy. Yeah, Stacy says, thank you, Miss J. Do. Hi, Jacob. So did you get your phone back or what's happening with that? Jacob tried to join Red Door. Is that what it's called? I forgot the app. And he lost like his whole phone with all of the stuff in it. So, okay. Who else wants to come up? Drool-worthy desserts. Yes. All right. So is JJ still here? Did you want to come up? JJ, I think she left. JJ. Red Book. Yeah, Red Book. Red Note. That's what it is. Red Note. Yes. Matthew. Hi, Matthew. I know I haven't been on in a while, but I love how big this community has gotten. Thank you, Matthew. You, I think, are my first subscriber. You're my first subscriber. And I need to do more subscriber only lives where maybe it's just us or subscriber chat only, something like that, where I can really check in with you guys because I want to add value to my subscribers. It's been crazy. Okay. It's been like with all of a sudden this whole, I just saw you, JJ, with the whole thing going on, you know, with the, we're calling it the contest, the joust, all the different things. Okay. So thank you. I'm glad. Yes. I just invited, JJ. Thank you for pinning her. Where am I? I'm so happy you're here, Matthew. Thank you for popping in. Yeah. It has gotten bigger. That's for sure. Hi, Learning Moon. Good to see you. Yay. What does joust mean? Yeah, Jennifer Lisa calls the election the joust. You know, because we have to, you know, it's funny. You know that guy that I've reposted? He's like an older white guy, and he's like, Trump is not getting in office. You know, and he talks very blatantly about everything. And I love him because he does it. He uses all the words. And we're over here doing mental, you know, word gymnastics. And we're like, the joust and the blueberry and the space boy and couch man and all these different things. He's using all the words and he's totally fine. And I really think like maybe they pick on women. No, it's not the rational boomer. His name is actually like user blah, 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 blah. Like he literally doesn't even, I don't think he says his name. But yeah, so wait, did you get the invite, JJ? Yeah, I've invited you. Are we having problems with that again? Because I just invited you and it's dulled out, and I just remember we couldn't get you up the other day. I don't know what that is. Go to my page on here and go to the reposts, and you'll see him. Yeah, he's a Jersey dude. Trek, thank you. He's in Jersey. I don't know if he was ever in the military. It almost seems like he was. I love him. He is talks so straight. He's just like boom, and he just says all the words. And I'm thinking, he doesn't do all this weird stuff with code words. I mean, but I've had a video taken and I got a violation, and I posted the same video on YouTube and I didn't have a problem. And then on YouTube, I've never had a problem on YouTube. I don't think. I remember one time they sent me a message, a comment that I said or something. And I was like, I never ever like say anything to anyone other than hi, so that was it. JJ, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Let me pick on you or like touch on your thing. What is happening? I don't understand why it's not. I don't know. Women get banned more, I feel. Griffin, thank you. Yes, I think so. I really do think so. Oh, that's why you don't like to go live with a bunch of people, because you get banned. Yeah, you have to be really careful. All right, you guys, I have to do this. No, I can't, because he's going to want to do, what do you call it? What's the thing called that why can't I think of what it's called when people do the games, or not games, but people give you gifts and then one person wins? What's happening to my mind? What is going on? You got a violation for saying ew. I know, I've said, like, here on TikTok is very, very strict. Monday is MLK Day. That's right, Laura. Okay, battle. Thank you. Stacy, what's happening to my brain? Janine, thank you. Laura, Lotto? Yeah, no. Okay, let's do a meditation. Let's just do a meditation and then we'll sign off, because 11 o'clock, my battery's low. I no longer have my extension thing over here. I want to put music on, but I don't have like royalty-free music right here. Yeah, my brain is going down fast. Okay, let me see if I can do, I might just cut this part off when I post it on YouTube, because that way I can. So anyways, I want to say goodbye to my YouTube viewers of my live. Thank you for watching this. I love the people that watch the entire live, because it's a long live to watch. But now I'm going to do a meditation. I'll do a dedicated meditation for my YouTube channel soon. Thank you. But now I'm going to cut off the YouTube channel and get on with the TikTok people. We're going to do our meditation. Thank you, Trek. Thank you. So we're just going to do a meditation.